Catching up with Cody. We're riding high and flying free. Sports and life as you can see. Just you and me on this journey.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Catch Up with Cody podcast. I'm your host, as always, Cody. We got a lot to talk about today. We got Super Bowl predictions. We got NBA trade deadline chaos. Winter messing with people's motivation. I know the people in the Midwest for sure know what I'm talking about on that. And we're going to be talking about, I'm locking in for the podcast. I'm ready. New year, new setup, new mic, new me. Let's get this podcast rolling. Thank you guys for, the support and everything. I've been seeing the views, the numbers and everything are increasing. So that definitely makes me feel a lot better. I appreciate you guys liking the stuff that I put out there, and it makes me happy that I'm doing something for the people out there. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so when I'm recording this episode, it is the 4th of February. Super Bowl is coming up on this Sunday. Two teams that I did not think would be making it, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. My prediction is Seattle. It'd be really cool to see Sam Darnold with his rebuild type of, he gets drafted to the Jets, goes to all these other teams, everybody rules him out, and now he's at the top and at the biggest game ever. So I'm going Seattle. It's going to be a defensive battle. I know they said that this will be the first real defensive Super Bowl in a while. We've had Patrick Mahomes. We've had, the old Patriots of the world. And a lot of that was not really defense. It was all offense. I mean, even the Atlanta versus Patriots game a couple years ago, that was all offense. So excited for it. It's going to be a good game. I don't know what my plan is yet. I'm thinking I might just chill out at the house and kind of relax. I don't know. I like doing Super Bowl parties, but then it's like, I don't know. Half the time you can't hear. Half the time it's like, people are like, what's the score? What are they saying? I got a whole bunch of football squares. I think I got like $60 in football squares. So all I need is one square to hit, though, and I make all my money back, plus more. So excited for that. It's going to be a great game. But it is cool to see the young guy on the other side of the coin here with Drake May on the Patriots. I believe 23 years old, second year in the league, and you're already into the Super Bowl. First-time head coach. I mean, there's so much to say. So proud and congrats to both of those teams for making it to the big dance, and we'll see how it goes. Excited for the commercials, everything that goes on with the halftime, and everything that really just goes on with the game. It's going to be a great time. And like I said, I don't know if I'm spending it just at the house or going out. But again, be safe on that as well. Let's get into the next topic here. And a lot of people, if you know me, I'm a huge basketball fan. NBA trade deadline is coming up. Will be tomorrow with me recording this at 3 p.m. We've had some crazy trades. Just looking at some right now within the last day here. Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz. A lot of J's in there, but I don't know. It sucks to see his career go to Utah. No offense to all the Utah fans out there, but they're still a rebuilding team. It's going to take a while for them to get to the next step. Memphis, they're just rebuilding. Pretty much fire sale on all the players and start from the bottom and work your way back up. They were a good team a couple years ago, which I think they can get back there with these young people. A couple of weeks ago, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, Trae Young went to the Wizards. So that was kind of a shock. Did not see that coming. Another trade I didn't see coming, which just happened a couple hours ago, is Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. That, I was not expecting that. The problem is that Anthony Davis is unfortunately injury prone, which is sad, and it's not really his fault to an extent, but he just can't catch a break. So hopefully in Washington, he kind of works his way back up to a superstar like he was in New Orleans. But it just seems like his career is unfortunately going downhill ever since leaving New Orleans. I mean, they have that one championship in LA. But as far as that, he really hasn't shown anything. and I believe he only played like 10 games last year with them, and then he got hurt. So looks like they definitely want to go young, definitely with Cooper Flag and everything. I don't blame them. But yeah, Trae Young and Anthony Davis together on the Wizards could quite possibly be a good thing here in the next year or two. If Trae Young can get healthy as well as Anthony Davis staying healthy, I think we should be looking at a good Wizards team here in the next couple of years. The one I am sad to see, and I know there was a couple other trades, we'll get into those. Pistons fans, Jaden Ivey's on the move. Kind of shocked that we traded him in division to Chicago, but it's sad. I know it has to happen. I unfortunately was, one of those teams people that was like, I don't want to see him go. But as far as a business standpoint and situation, we unfortunately have to do that. We get Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric in return. I don't know. I think it's gonna be weird not having Ivy on the court. But I think in Chicago, I think he'll be the main focus. I saw somebody compare it to like Derrick Rose. Like that team's just gonna, the team, the fans, everybody's just gonna welcome him with open arms, and he'll definitely, I think he'll definitely flourish in Chicago. I wish it worked out in Detroit. I know obviously all the Pistons players wanted it to work out in Detroit. A lot of fans wanted it as well. It just didn't. I mean, unfortunately, I think that leg injury was what took him down. Again, it's sad to see because injuries, obviously nobody can predict injuries. Nobody can, you can't expect things like this to happen. And it's just routine plays sometimes that people are doing that they get hurt on. But with it being his contract year, injuries, it just wasn't working. So I definitely wish him all the best in Chicago. I mean, we'll be seeing him a lot still because we play him a bunch of times in the season. With it being an in division team that we traded him to, so we'll see him definitely. More times than not. But good luck, Ivy. Appreciate everything you did in Detroit. When he was healthy and he had those minutes, he was good. And just unfortunately, like I said, injuries, like I said with Anthony Davis and other players, injuries unfortunately take a toll. But good luck in Chicago. Wishing you the best there. Appreciate all the times that I got to watch you in person hoop. And, I remember the one time I had seats right behind the Pistons bench. And, I mean, I was pretty much like 5 to 10 feet away from Jaden Ivey. And that was pretty cool. So that'll be a cool experience that I'll remember. And going to really a couple weeks ago, the last game that Ivy was in a Pistons uniform. It was his bobblehead night. So that's kind of, the more you look at it, that's really sad too. Wishing him all the best. I know a lot of Detroit fans are. The fan base is divided, but I think it's a good thing that needed to happen, and hopefully gets us to the big dance in the NBA Finals. That's what we're hoping for. Pistons are looking really good, so we'll talk about them in a later episode. But definitely excited for the where the Pistons are going. And love seeing it. It's like every time you turn on the game, they win. So it's nice to see that, especially after a couple years ago with only 14 wins. So again, good luck, Ivy. Good luck, Pistons. Let's get it rolling. Let's bring a championship home to Detroit. All right, and one other trade I wanted to talk about was James Harden going to Cleveland. It was funny. I was listening to, I think it was a radio show or a podcast that was talking about how like every 2 years James Harden does this, I don't want to play here anymore. I want more money, blah, 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 blah. Well, unfortunately, he's getting old. He's not putting up the numbers that he used to. So we'll see how he goes in Cleveland. I don't know how it'll work with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, but we'll see. Apparently, they said that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell were kind of not getting along. They both need to have the ball in their hand. I mean, it's kind of how some of these teams roll. So we'll see. I mean, Cleveland's an okay team, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, a lot of trade deadline chaos going on. And with tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll see how many more trades come across. see if the Pistons do anything else, and we'll see if there's any other trades that kind of rock the league. I'm excited. I like those trades. I'm really excited to see some of those trades, especially when the rumors and stuff come around where they're like, where's Giannis going? Where's this person going? So keep an eye out on all the trades. Keep an eye out on Giannis, and we will go from there. All right. Well, next, I want to talk about, kind of piggybacking off of sports. Hopefully, I get more details here coming up in the next couple days. The 17th of February, which is a Tuesday, I will be on the Sports Reel podcast. Again, shout out to those guys for inviting me onto their podcast. Super excited for that. It is a live podcast, so that'll be cool. My first podcast ever that I'm the guest is going to be a live one. Really cool. Excited about that. From what I'm seeing, these guys are really cool. Detroit fans, sports fans, which is exactly what I am. I will be giving the details as soon as I hear from them. But yeah, give them a look. Check out some of their videos. Give them a like, subscribe, and everything. They're on YouTube, Instagram, everything like that. I'll put their link in the description as well. But yeah, Sports Reel podcast right here. Yeah, give them a follow. And like I said, as soon as I get some details, I'll put that in the, I'll make a video about it so you guys can tune in. But yeah, super excited for that. And, after talking about being on the Sports Reel podcast, it kind of goes into what I wanted to talk about. And that's, really focusing on this podcast this year. I know I keep saying it, and, I get the content out, I make videos and everything, but I think I'm really ready to, do this and really focus in it. I got a new mic, new desk. Setup is pretty much how I want it. I don't think there's any more changes that I want to do. I think I was just kind of piecing everything together, and I think now the puzzle's all together, and I'm ready. I mean, I got the stuff behind me. Like I said, everything, is set up the way I want, and I think, it's just full steam ahead on this one. It's I'm really starting to enjoy it now that I'm seeing some of the things that I have and some of the equipment that I have. And now that I'm seeing the numbers, the likes, the views, the support all around, I'm really starting to be like, you know what? You just need to sit down and focus, whether it's an hour a day, 20 minutes a day. I mean, it's like working out. Even 20 minutes a day, it might take a little bit longer to see the results and everything, but 20 minutes a day is going to get you to that next step, the next step. So just, that's what I need to do. Come in here for an hour one day, 20 minutes another day, podcast episode, 2 podcast episodes a day to then edit after that. I got some other people on the back end behind the scenes helping me with some audio and visual stuff and kind of, giving me some tips and pointers and everything. Got another podcast lined up after this solo one. And yeah, just kind of starting to network, get my name out there. And just letting people know that this Catching Up with Cody podcast is going to be cool. It's going to be a thing to watch and tune into. And the people that already do that, I appreciate it. The new people coming in, if this is your first video you're seeing, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of, I know everybody's got a busy schedule. Thank you for, taking your time and watching my videos, watching the TikTok clips, watching, even if you just watch 5 minutes of it, it's just, to me, that's support no matter what. So thank you guys for all of that. I'm really going to, hone in on doing this stuff, focus, the tunnel it's just straight ahead, and I'm super excited. So with me really focusing on it and really seeing the results and everything, it's definitely helping my mental health, which is awesome. Obviously, this is a mental health podcast as well. So, it just piggybacks off of each other. The more I put and the more I put out and focus on stuff, the more it makes me happy, the more mentally it makes me, happy and good, which then, again, in turn, puts out better content for all of you guys. So super excited for that. I'm glad. I'm kind of on an uphill, trend almost, and it's really good to see. There's some bumpy roads, some obstacles that I still have to get around. there's sometimes that I'm like, hey, maybe I don't want to come in here. Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe it's going to take time from this person and that person. And, maybe I can do this instead. Or, I'm just going to just not do anything toward the podcast today. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes, you don't want to burn out. You don't want to rush things. You want to make sure everything looks good. But on the other end, it's like, like anything else, like, okay, dude, you didn't do anything today. Well, now you're one day behind these people that are working on a podcast, or these people that are working out, or these people that are trying to achieve the next goal. And that's what I want to be doing. I want to keep this upward trend. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving the needle. I've heard a couple people say, set the bar here. And then once you hit that bar, set it high again, and then set it high again. Keep setting the bar higher and higher, because once you're comfortable and once you hit that bar, you're not going to want to keep going, because you hit the goal, you hit the bar, you hit what you wanted to achieve. There's always something better to achieve, whether it's, even on my YouTube, we'll use that for example. I'm at 78 subscribers. Okay. My next goal is 80. Then once I hit 80, next goal is 90. After that, 100. Once I hit 100, then we go up from there. You just keep moving that ladder, moving the goal higher and higher, because don't get comfortable. Because once you get comfortable, then again, that's where you're stuck here while everybody else is moving up higher. So keep, don't burn yourself out, because you don't want to do that either, because that'll set you farther back. But just always see that goal and always be reaching for that goal continuously. Sometimes you might think, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep setting the bar higher? I'm never going to reach this goal. I'm never going to reach that goal. If you put your mind to it, if you focus, if you stay on the path of success, you will get there. I didn't think where I'm at now, I didn't think starting this is where I would be. I thought I'd have 5 people or 10 people, just your inner circle, your parents, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, anybody, grandparents. That's who I thought. That's where I thought I was going to stop as far as support. And now the numbers that I'm seeing, it's getting out there. My stuff is getting out there. Seeing the views, I know it's only like, okay, 300-400 views, but you got to think about it. 300 or 400 people, even if they just glanced at what you put out there, just think about that many people being in a room and you talking to that many people. That's a lot of people. And like I said, it's a small number for a lot of other like content creators, YouTubers, bigger people, bigger channels. But in a year's time, I'm really proud of where I'm at. Do I want to have more? Of course. You always want to have more. You always want to be better. And you always want to get to the next step. And that's just kind of what, some of the advice that I wanted to give is just don't stop trying. Just keep going. Trust me, I've hit plenty of walls. There was a time where I know, people that have been following me, I did take a break for a while because I wasn't enjoying what I'm doing. And now I'm finally feeling the enjoyment coming back, and it's just full steam ahead from here. So again, appreciate it. And I'm really going to get that content out for everybody. Well, lot to talk about. Like I said, a lot of sports stuff to go on this weekend, coming up this week. I believe, before I get out of here, I believe the Olympics are coming up here pretty soon. So it'll be cool to kind of watch that. But thank you guys. If you've made it this far, give me a like, subscribe, follow, share it out to your friends and family. And I'm going to get the best content out there that I can. Thank you guys again for catching up with Cody. Peace.